I'm here with the beautiful Tammy
Hi guys.
and a litter of 7 5-week-old F2 Lycan Shepherd puppies. And they're excited because they're about to eat. They can smell the food. This is going to be a puppy pack feeding video. Today we're going to introduce them to some larger pieces of food. Pieces that are too small or too large for them to swallow right away. And we're going to be teaching them how to chew on food and not gulp it down. And this is an early exercise I do. Again, it starts training the pups when they're young to chew the food up properly. Let's give the phone to Tammy here. What we have here are some chicken backs that I've cut up for the puppies, and we're going to give them some. Again, this helps teach the puppies to start chewing their food up properly. And we'll let them gnaw on these for a while. And then after a bit, I will take them and use this meat mallet and machete, or not machete, I haven't had enough coffee. I'll take this meat mallet and this meat cleaver here, and I'll thoroughly smash and dice up what's left. There's Kurgan, he just finished eating. He's merely in the kennel so the puppies can eat. The other dogs are inside eating at this time. Now look at this one, Tammy. This one's got the silver going up the legs like Kurgan. Just toss it out the middle there. You see that? The silver on the feet like Kurgan. Kurgan had that silver on his feet as a puppy. You can see this one's going to start getting the silver muzzle like Kurgan too. Again, these guys turned 5 weeks old today. And again, these backs are too big for them to chew up and swallow. And this is just teaching them to learn to chew up and gnaw on their food, so they're not gulping it down. You know, that can be a big problem when you have a dog that's been fed kibble most of its life, and then you introduce them to raw. They really haven't been taught to chew their food because kibble really requires very little chewing, and they have to be retrained. I start young with puppies, teaching them to do this. So there's enough pieces for all of them to have a piece, but you can see. There you go. If you'd like to learn more about how to feed a raw diet, I've provided plenty of links in the video description. They'll tell you the science behind it, how to start, how much to feed, etc. I personally feed the BARF diet, which is an acronym for Biologically Appropriate Raw Foods, created by veterinarian Ian Billinghurst. I've put a couple of links to some very good books by him in the description. Give your dog a bone and grow your pups with bones. I highly recommend them. I've been feeding raw for almost 20 years with great results. If you happen to disagree with how I feed my dogs, that's okay. Feed your dogs however you want. This is just what I do with mine. You don't have to worry about raw food bacteria with dogs. 36% of dogs carry salmonella. It's a natural part of the gut flora. They have stronger digestive juices and a shorter G-tract than we do, making them biologically designed to deal with raw food bacteria. Okay, just bring that one back over. Starting young like this too, they learn about feeding in a group. It's little Puko there on the, little K-bar there on the right. That's the little girl on the left. Again, I think the girl's going to be going to my oldest daughter. We'll see though. I still have to discuss that with her. By the way, if you have some old garden hoses that no longer are working, you can cut them up and tie knots in them, and they make pretty good dog toys. Good way to recycle. Again, that's the little K-bar right there with the erect ears. It's one of my keepers. Such a cutie. There you go, little homie. There's a piece right there for you. Now he says, I want to check out everyone else's. That right there is K-bar and Puko. K-bar going in for the steal. This is the one we had to cut a little bit of pine sap off his butt he got from Mom's leg. His hair's already almost all growing back to the same length. See, little man's a pretty active pup. He's the most active pup in the litter, K-Bar. Aren't you? First one to walk, first one to open his eyes. Probably the most outgoing and adventurous. That's why I'm hanging on to him. Even though he's the smallest. Size really doesn't mean much at this age. See, his ears are going to get ready to stand here soon. These puppies are really confident and outgoing. I think they're going to make great pets for the homes they're going to. K-Bar. Again, we're teaching them how to chew and gnaw in their food so they don't become gulpers. If you're somebody who has dealt with a lot of bull breeds, you know what a gulper is. Dogs that don't really chew their food and just gulp everything down. You see him just checking everyone out. He cracks me up. That's K-Bar over there getting a drink. What's up, little buddy? That's my buddy. See, he already loves being pet. He's a little scrapper too. Look at this one, Tammy's got himself a seat. Yeah, he's doing a Kurgan. It doesn't look very comfortable. That's the one with the little white stripe on his forehead like Kurgan. Kurgan, as a puppy, had that tiny little white stripe on his head and had the silver going up his legs. A lot of these guys are going to look like little Kurgan clones. That's one of them. Kurgan even had the tail that kind of curls like that as a puppy also. Then as he got older, he lost it. But yeah, these guys look just like little Kurgan curl clones. This is the little girl, she's a cutie. Girl following me around. I'm curious, we have them all eating a high value food. Let's see if I call them, if any will come. I have no idea what will happen. Look at that. Look at that. We get 5 out of 7. Some of them even brought their meals over. I'm pretty impressed at 5 weeks. That tells me a little bit about these guys. Again, we're trying to create a responsive working breed, and so those are things I'm very interested in while they're young like this. Look at that. That's one of the reasons why I'm keeping this little guy. He was the first one over. You see that? That's little K-Bar. Girl. There's Puko right there, the other big one here. Get me in. Well, I think we've gotten pretty far into this. We're 17 minutes in. Just wanted to show you guys how they're doing on their 5-week birthday. They're doing awesome. You can see they're really progressing when it comes to eating raw food. Making short work of these backs, and I'll be chopping up what's left of them. Bye from my little homeboy, Mr. K-Bar. Puko over there. And the rest of the crew. And of course, the beautiful team.
Bye, guys.
Again, as I said, if you'd like to learn more about how to feed a raw diet, just check the video description. I've left plenty of links. Don't take my word for this stuff. I'm just some guy on YouTube. Do your research. I've provided some links for you to start. Bye. So, I got some new hand tattoos yesterday. My fans are feeling a little fat right now. See ya. Well, if you're still here and watching, thought I'd show you what happens to the chicken backs after the puppies are done chewing on them. I've used this cleaver and meat mallet and cutting board here to thoroughly smash and mince the remainder of those. And basically what this does is it simulates what would happen in a pack when the parents go off and feed. They come back to the puppies and they regurgitate food, which is much like this consistency wise, with pieces of bone and other things that they've eaten. And that's basically what we're simulating here. See, the puppies all respond to the clicking now. And again, I do that when I'm feeding them because they associate that sound with something good that's going to happen. And then in the future, when we're doing off-leash work here in a few weeks, they're going to automatically come running anytime I make that sound because this is what they've associated it with. And you can do that with any sound. It doesn't have to be a click. It can be a whistle or a particular word, whatever you want. But that's how you can really imprint in your puppies and get them to respond to something, is by using these opportunities like this when you're feeding them, especially when it's a really high value food like this, like raw food is, and use that as a training tool. Just a little training tip for those who might be interested. You can see with my dogs, they all have very good recall off leash. I don't pass myself off as any kind of professional trainer, but that's one technique I found that's really helpful. I am a longtime animal warden and have trained and owned and bred dogs for over 30 years. So you might want to take that in when you listen to some of the stuff I'm saying. Again, the puppy's made really quick work of that. That's the little girl there. She's such a cutie. That's my boy K-Bar. Big man here. We have his Puko. And over there we got the beautiful Tammy, cuddling the little girl. How can you resist, huh?
I know, she's so cute.
She is. I think Miranda's gonna like her.
Oh yeah.
Here's little Puko. He's a cutie.
Oh, their little faces.
Yes.
Yes.
Says there's food, ma'am. Well, there you go. I hope you enjoyed it. Should we try the puppy pan test again? Try dropping the pan around them and see what kind of response we get. Get them all over here. Here, Tammy, you take this. No puppies running away. No puppies getting flat and hugging the ground. No puppies investigating the sound of the noise. It's just what I like to see. Again, you can use little tests like that to tell a lot about your litter and individual puppies. Again, not a single puppy dropped to the ground or ran away. 5 weeks old. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, and share. Hit that notification bell down below. You'll get email notifications when the new videos come out. Bye.